Right, well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to the live session. I appreciate you guys. We've just recapped kind of how you felt from last session, what you've applied, but just to give you a bit of a refresher, because it was a week ago, we talked about the fact that, a massive amount of people are experiencing stress, that we need to be more present and focus on what's really around us, because we know that the impacts are really huge. And I introduced you to the STOP methods. So, Sue, have you, what's changed since last session for you? Have you been more conscious of something? Has it made you think a little bit more about certain areas?
No, just pretty much the same.
Yep. All right.
Just pretty much the same.
All right. Beautiful. Well, so today's session, we're talking about a couple of things. One of them is like work-life balance. And I want to know, what is work-life balance to you? When you hear that, what do you think of?
Oh my God. Good time management. Like managing my time outside of work and making it work so that when I do come to work, I can like I'm fine. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, you're on the right lines.
Yeah.
You're on the right lines. How about you, Sue? When you think of, oh, we're getting a bit of feedback here. I'm sorry, I don't know why. What do you think of, Sue, when you hear work-life balance?
I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know.
No, that's fair. This is not a quiz. Don't worry.
Describe, like.
I think
you gotta try and separate the two.
Yeah, or more than two. Because if you think about it, if you think of all the different areas,
you see that like separate your work from your home life, sort of, or
yeah,
like if something's wrong at work, don't take it home, that sort of thing.
Right. Yes, a balancing way what you're thinking of at any one time. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. But to Sophia's point, there's lots of different areas of life. Wouldn't you agree? You've got your career, friends and family, social life, spirituality, love life, your health, your finances. Like if you take of it as a big wheel, you've got all these different areas of life that you have to focus on at any one point. Right. And the balance is a bit different now because you can't socialize the same as we did before. Finances have either took a hit or we're gaining more money. Some people are gaining more money through COVID, some people aren't. Some people's relationships have flourished through this, some haven't. Some people's career is flourishing through this. Some people have forgot to think about it. Some people have become more spiritual, some people become less spiritual. So there's all these different areas of life, right? And it's about looking at what's important to you in your balance, because to your point, Sophia, if you're not balancing all the other areas, if you take career out of it for a second, we just forget work for a minute, which you're in your lunch hour, you should forget about work for a minute anyway. If you forget about work, but if all those areas in life aren't taken care of, do you think that affects how you are at work?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you have a fallout with a friend, for example, you come to work, it affects your day, right?
Yeah.
Or if you forgot to pay a credit card bill, or didn't realize that you spent that much at Christmas, or you haven't just taken care of your finances for a couple of months and kind of it's run away with you and you don't know where you're at, it affects how you feel at work. Now, the other way around is true, right? If you have a horrible day at work, it affects everything, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. You go home and you're in a bad mood.
Right? It's so true. So work-life balance means something different for everybody. The reason we're talking about this is because of COVID, the way that we balance it is completely different. And it's time that we all just take a bit of stock of actually what's happening in our lives and say, okay, let's take all the areas of life. What do I need to focus on right now outside of work? And what do I need to focus on in work? So maybe you're at Crosswind Farm and you want to become a supervisor, or maybe you want to be production manager eventually, right? Then let's start focusing on your career. Or if you're, everything else is going really well for you, but your social life's a bit down the pan, it's now time to take a look at how you can do that. I'll give you an example of this. I'll share something pretty cool with you. So I like Indian food. I like spicy food. Do either of you guys like spicy food?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
It's like a no. Sophia's like, yeah, bring it on. Yeah, I like spicy. I like food like loads of flavor and I like a bit of heat as well, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm not hung out with a lot of people for a long time, a long time. Apart from we've had virtual birthday parties for people and stuff like that. And last night I did a virtual cooking class. And there was people from the States, there was people from Canada, there's someone from another country, I don't know where he's from, I didn't quite catch it. And then the chef. And so we did this virtual cooking class, and I actually felt like I was around people because I recognized when I know it was really cool. And we learned to make aloe chat and stuffed paratha. And aloe chat is like potato salad. It's an Indian potato salad. It's really hot. I forgot how hot it was. It was that hot. I had to use a lip salve today because I like burn my lips. But I recognized probably about a month ago when I was writing this program, I was like, okay, let me look at all areas of my life and see where I'm at right now. And I'm like, you know what? These areas are pretty taken care of. I'm happy in my work, happy with this, happy with it. But my social life, yeah, not so much. What can I do about it? And sometimes we just need to take that time and sit down and go, where are my finances at? Am I happy? Where are my where's my health at? Am I happy? Should I be making any changes? Well, yeah, I'm probably drinking far too much tea in a day, not enough water. And
Never too much tea.
Right. I love my cups of tea.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I'm also British, and that's what we've grown up with. Drink more tea. Tea solves everything. But I'm inviting you guys to take stock, take some time at home and kind of look at everything and go, am I off balance? Am I too much work, not enough me? Am I too much me, not enough work? Am I focused too much on my finances, so my love life's getting a back burner? Am I spending enough time with friends but not enough time with my family? And all these kind of things. And it's time to kind of look at what balance means, because the two affect each other. And it used to be, Sue, you're quite right, it's keeping work and home separate is really hard because you spend a lot of time at work, right? Even if you work part-time.
Yeah.
Massive part of your day. And if you have a bad day, you're taking it home, you're taking it out on the dog or the cat or your husband or wife or whatever. And it's not a good feeling. So it's time to kind of take stock and just kind of rebalance things. So I invite you to do a little bit about that. And then also you've got the added factor that 2/3 of people are single parents or both working families right now. So during COVID, they've got the extra stress of homeschooling, looking after the kids. Like life would be a bit easy sometimes, I think, if I only had myself to look after. But then I have my kids to look after and my boyfriend's kids, and there's all this pressure on ourselves. So it's more important than ever to kind of see what we're giving our attention to, and are we giving attention to the right things? Like, have we let our finances drop off? And really we should check out better credit card rates, and let's start looking after all areas of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you a question. Without looking at your phone, do you know how much battery power your phone has?
You should be almost full because I charged it before I left home.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know yours, Sue. How about you, Sophia?
I don't know. I don't really go. Like, I have a phone, but I don't have a plan. I don't really use my phone. I know, like, before COVID, I was like all about my phone. I was living in London, Ontario. And then we ended up moving to Peterborough, and I just kind of shut everything off. I was like, screw everything. In a good way, though.
Wow.
In a good way. So I just haven't had a phone plan, and I just use my boyfriend's phone right now.
And what impact has that brought into your life by doing that?
Oh my God, more peace. Like, I find myself going to, going to bed on a good note instead of like being glued to it. Because it would affect my sleep, just like the light of it, even not even that. It's the phone. Yeah, like it would just. There's some studies about like how it affects your REM sleep or something like that.
Yep.
Or it just influences your thoughts before you go to bed, so you're kind of like thinking too much before you go to bed when you need to like calm down. I don't know.
You're absolutely right, Sophia. Yeah, let me give you a bit of science behind that, Sue, because Sue's like, oh no, Sue, do you read though before bed? You don't necessarily go on your phone, do you?
No.
Well, just to give you information, and for those who are watching the replay here, it might be applicable to you, but you're right. So there's two things. There's the fact that it's such a bright light that what happens is, so when your body needs to go to sleep, your body produces a chemical called melatonin. And melatonin says to your brain, oh, it's sleepy time now. Let's get tired. Let's get sleepy. And if you have a bright light that you're looking at for too long and too close to bedtime, your body doesn't naturally produce melatonin, which means that you're like, well, I know I'm tired, but then you sit in bed and you're like, can't sleep right now. Like, I want to go sleep now. Like, you're trying everything out and it doesn't work. So that's partly because of the light. And then to your point, when you're if you're reading something that gets you angry or reading something that makes you happy, it then starts playing on your mind. So then you can't go to sleep because there's no wind down time. So you're right. And you're right. REM sleep is when you're in your deepest sleep, like you're not dreaming or anything. You're just in total relaxation mode. Your body's healing itself, which is part of the reason why we need sleep. And it's that rejuvenation. And when we don't, we're in like a little bit of sleep, and a little bit of sleep isn't enough. Like, have you ever had a full night's sleep but you still wake up absolutely exhausted?
I
Never felt
hope
like
not,
that.
feel like I never slept.
It's so
Right?
sad.
And you
Our
think,
hours.
oh my
Yeah.
God, is it the morning already? No,
Oh my
you
God,
know,
I haven't slept. It's awful. Yeah.
it's terrible feeling. And that's usually because something's been playing on our mind, or we've been reading articles or scrolling, and mindless scrolling isn't really good for us. I do it. I admit I do it. I now don't bring my phone into the bedroom on purpose. I'm actually in my bedroom now with a green screen, and I actually have here, I will show you this. This is really, I'm not going to show you my bedroom because it's a mess, but I'll show you this. If I can unplug it. So this is it's called a Sadlight alarm clock. And it's not plugged in right now, so I can't probably show you. But what happens is it has a light that goes off at 7. So I wake up at 6:30, but the light comes on at 6:30, and it emanates daylight.
Oh, cool. What?
Yeah, and then the radio comes on as alarms. It's like an old radio alarm clock, but and then it comes up, so I can change it to pink or green or blue or yellow. I think it is.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's called a sad light, and it's not because I'm a sad person, because I'm not a sad person, but it's a seasonal something disorder. I can't think of the full word, and it's people who are affected by too much darkness.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right? And they're not super expensive. Like this was $25 or something like that.
That's so cool. Because like I just realized that like I am like that. I do not function in the wintertime. Every year I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but as soon as it's cold, like I shrivel up and I can't help it.
Go into hibernation mode.
I know, it's oh my God, I can't fight it. It's the way I am.
Yeah.
I'm Spanish. I'm not meant to be here.
Right. I feel you as a European. You want to wake up to daylight and open up your curtains and go, yay, what a great day. And instead you're like, it's dark and there's a lot of people who are affected by sad disorder. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to email Kelly there, the sad alarm. I'm going to send you the link to the alarm I got. I'm telling you now, it's one of the coolest things you can do. There's also there's a software you can plug in to your PC. So if anyone like sits with a PC or an iPad or anything like that, you can plug in. It's just a download thing. It's totally free. And what it does, it actually matches the light that's outside. So when it goes dark outside, you can't use your PC anymore. Wow. So it only stays light during the daytime, and then it starts dimming around sunset. It's kind of cool, which forces you to go, okay, I need to get off my computer.
Yeah.
But you're right, light makes a massive effect. What else have you found by not having a phone? This is really interesting.
Oh, well, like I have more time. I don't know, like it's so hard to explain. Like I'm doing a lot more for myself mentally, like drawing more, reading more, cooking more. I'm engaged, like my boyfriend and I's relationship is better than it's ever been. And not even so because of the phone, but like we're more, I don't know, like connected to the things around us than to our phones. Like
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good for you. I'm really happy to hear that. Well, good for you. And that must have been quite the transition moving to Peterborough.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was. I lived right downtown, like big city.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's a big culture shock. Yeah.
But where am I? Oh my God.
Right? But isn't that interesting how something as simple as not looking at your phone as much or not even using it the way that you did before, like has given you all this different impact? Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really interesting. And part of the reason why I ask how much battery power our phones have is because we sometimes treat our phones better than ourselves. We will make sure that our phone is fully charged, but we won't fully charge ourselves, right? It's like filling But it's true, don't you agree? Sometimes we take
Yeah.
better care of, or sometimes we take better care of our cars than we do ourselves. Like, you know, I say to people, you know, do you put premium gas in your car? But you make sure there's enough gas to get somewhere, but we don't do that for ourselves, meaning we don't recharge ourselves, right? We don't take the time to go, you know what? I just need some downtime. I just need to recharge myself. So have you guys got your phone on you right now?
No.
No. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it up instead. So if you had, I would have, let me take a note of this number. I'll just bring up the website. So I had my last students from this session. So I'll just stop share for a second. Go into, this is called an answer garden, where basically you can go to a website and you can, one moment please, hit and you can answer a question. So I asked people the question, what people do to recharge themselves. Let me find it. Because it's really easy for me to say, oh, here's what you need to do to recharge yourself. But then we need to hear from people who have actually done these things. Is this not loading? Here we go. Can you see these results on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I put it out there on social media and I said, what is it you do to recharge yourself? Now, we're so busy like eating, working, seeing people, spending time with our boyfriend that we forget to just do something for ourselves and plug ourselves in or plug ourselves out, to your point with your phone, right? Unplug yourself for a bit. Here's some really good ideas. CBD bath. Who would have thought about who even knew there was CBD oils and stuff you could put in a bath? Like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Having silence. When was the last time we just like sat in silence for a time? Spending time with friends, watching fluff TV is some people's. Take a look at these. How many of these on the screen?
Cry.
Say again?
Oh, I see one that says cry.
Right? But they put lol afterwards. But actually, crying can be a really big release. So if you're holding back your tears, it can be really, it's not good for you holding back your tears. And sometimes if you have a good cry, it makes you feel a lot better. But I know that's not everyone's jam on how to recharge. But if you were to look at this screen here, which one of these are you more likely to do to recharge, do you think?
Wine, nature, bath, a lot of them, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like a lot.
Yeah.
How about you, Sue?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice how many people
Plus,
are
I
reading?
read to unwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read to unwind. I read a lot, yeah.
I thought of you actually when I pulled this up this morning just to see what other answers people had put. And I thought, yes, Sue's going to be like, yep, I'm in for a bath and a book. I'm in for reading. I'm into, some people journal. Some people write. I had one woman tell me that on one of the sessions, she's always wanted to write a book. And she joined this group called Writing in Your PJs. And you turn up at 7 a.m., you don't like brush your teeth or anything, and you all just write together. So everyone's on Zoom and everyone's just sat writing together. How cool is that? And that's like her recharge,
That's
right?
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow.
And because it's something that she's always wanted to do, like, get on it. Like, don't wait till you retire to do stuff like this. Like, let's start doing it now. But my point is, sometimes we forget to recharge ourselves, but we'll never forget to recharge our phone because we give more focus and importance on our phone. But we're really important, because what happens if you don't recharge yourself?
Oh, you run down.
Yeah.
You're going down, right?
You
You're
run
so
down,
right.
like
Sue.
you have no energy. And
Right. Have you heard of something called burnout?
yeah,
Yeah. Do you think you may have experienced it at some point in your life?
No.
Oh yeah. No.
no.
Sue hasn't, eh? I'm really happy to hear that you haven't.
She's a hard-working, positive lady.
Right?
Amazing. Wow. I burn out all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Burnout is very real. We'll talk about it in a second here, but I've got on the screen as a good reminder from last time. We need to take stock of the things that are taking time away from us recharging, or from the things that we want to do, right? Like I asked this lady who does the writing club, I said, what stopped you from doing it before? I said, time. She said, time. I said, no, it wasn't time. It was you making the time to do it. What were you giving time to do? Were you scrolling the internet? Well, yeah. Could you have written then? Well, yeah, right. And when we do this, when you look at like what you're doing in life and the things that you've always wanted to do, what are you doing that you shouldn't really be doing so you can do the things that you really want to do? So for your point, Sophia, you recognize intentionally or not, by not looking at your phone and constantly scrolling through Snapchat or what have you, you're now actually spending more time with your loved one, and good quality time too, because you're actually there in the moment, like hanging out with each other rather than, oh, did you see this on Snapchat, right? And that's a decision you've made. And sometimes, sometimes it might be, are you spending too much time on hobbies and not enough time with your family, or vice versa? Or maybe you're spending far too much time on your finances and not looking after your social life. And it's about just, I'm totally invite you to take a look at what you're giving focus to. But this recharging is really, really, like, it's huge. Burnout really means to be completely exhausted emotionally, mentally, and physically. And that's brought on usually by stress or doing too many things. And then the actual definition in the dictionary is reduction of fuel from overuse. So that's kind of the same thing, right? It's if you overuse your computer, actually, if you overuse your iPhone or any kind of smartphone, it overheats. Right? It goes on burnout. Have you ever like had the TV on so long that the TV gets hot?
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day with the old TVs.
Yeah.
But they burn out. Like the lamps used to burn out at the back if they got too hot, right? This is a real thing. And a lot of people are experiencing burnout. And we do this because we put lots of pressure on ourselves to do all the things and be positive all of the time. And then, or we mask our symptoms, or we mask how we're feeling, right? And we don't do anything about it. So it's really important that we start to think about burnout and how the symptoms are different than stress is. You know that you're burnt out versus just a bit stressed when you're completely exhausted. To your point, Sue, you've got like zero energy, like you're almost crawling to bed because you're like, oh, I'm so tired, right? Or you can't even lift up your hand. I remember the first time I can honestly say that I felt burnt out, I was going to wash my hair. Now I've got really long hair, right? And I was washing my hair and I couldn't be bothered. What? I'm like, I've got so little energy. I don't have the energy to like lift my head and wash my hair. I'm like, wow, like something's got to give here. What am I doing? And I found that I was part of a lot of volunteer groups and stuff like that, and I had to pull back from them because I burnt myself out. Or you might find that you're getting sad at the smallest of things, right? Because we get all emotional or frustration or anger, or the worst ones when we get like snappy, like really irritable at the smallest of thing. That's when I recognize it now, is when, I'll be really busy and I'll be focused and, I've got all these sessions to train and I'm designing all these sessions. The kids will come in to show me a picture and I'll be like, what now? And then I think, oh God, sorry, I didn't mean that. Oh no. And that's when I go, okay, I'm burning myself out. Something has to give. And that's when I usually do the stop thing. And then I think, okay, something needs to come out of that circle of things I'm doing right now, because the important things aren't getting my focus, right? And I invite you to start recognizing when this is happening, because burnout is very, very real. So I'm inviting you to make it a daily practice. Start the habit of actually plugging time in for recharging. Now, sounds like you, Sue, have, you found your thing. Your thing is reading. That's awesome. For some people, it's exercising. For some people, they're taking a bath, and some people have a bath every night because it's the only time they get peace and quiet. And sometimes they put some good tunes on, or take a glass of wine, or even a book into the bath. I listen to audiobooks a lot in the bath because I find that I hate it when my book gets wet.
Yeah.
It drives me bonkers, and then you're like trying to turn the page and they're stuck together, and oh no. I keep seeing these people who are making these really cool bath rails. Have you seen them, like made of wood, that go over the bath?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it'll hold your book for you, or hold your phone if you want to watch Netflix or something like that. Yeah, I think things like that are really cool. But the point of this is, I'm inviting you to actually schedule it in. If you say, by having a bath, I get really well recharged, start scheduling it in. Start saying, Tuesday night's my bath night, no matter what. Tuesday night, this is what I'm going to do for myself, because we plan, all right, I'm going to charge my phone while I'm asleep. I'm going to charge my phone while I'm working, or I'm going to charge my phone when I'm in the car. We plan that, but we don't plan our own recharge. And when we're fully recharged, we can give our best selves to our job. We can give our best selves to our friends, our relationships, and things like that. It's just proven by what you've said there, Sophia. So totally, totally, and utterly invite you to start making it a practice to actually start plugging in some recharge time. This is when I do this, and that's that, you know, and my kids know there's certain things that I do, and that's, they can't interrupt me when I'm doing those things, and that's just the way it is. When I'm having a bath, I usually put a movie on for them. I'll hang out in the bath for 20 minutes, and I know I'll get 20 minutes uninterrupted time. They go, oh cool, movie time. They know it's in their routine that mum has a bath twice a week, right? I like it. It's, you know, I'm all into the bath bombs right now too. I like all the nice smelly stuff in the bath, right? It just makes me feel really girly, and all my days like go. I get up at 6:30 in the morning, I do this, I get ready, and I get the kids ready, and then it's school time, and then I'm working, and then I have a meeting, then I'm eating lunch, and it's all like go. At some point I have to go, and plug myself in and not wait until I go to sleep. Because sleep isn't there to design just to recharge you. That's when your body actually looks after its health and stuff like that, right? So I invite you to start scheduling it in. The next thing we're going to talk about is building a community. I'm just going to do a time check here. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing really good, actually. You're smart women. Have you heard of something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
No.
Oh, your first time. First timers. All right, Maslow hierarchy of needs virgins. Let me tell you about this. Right. So this guy in 1943 figured out that the average human being has certain needs that need to be met. Right? Sounds super obvious. But until this need has been met, the next need cannot be met. Let me give you an example of this. Let me go through them from the bottom to the top. So it starts from the bottom. Physiological needs are things like food, water, shelter, oxygen, like the things you need to actually stay alive. Okay. Safety it's not just how you feel safe in your home, it's financial security, it's do you feel safe in the workplace, do you feel safe sharing information with your partner, do you feel safe with your kids, do you feel safe in your car, do you feel safe at work, do you feel like your job's safe? It's everything to do with safety, right? How safe you feel in the world. Love and belonging is how you feel that you fit in your community. So, you know, how do you like the people that you work with? How do you like your leaders who you work with? How do you like your friends right now? How do you like your neighbors right now? Do you feel like you're part of a community? Because it's actually, and this has become even stronger since COVID, as human beings, especially as adult human beings, we crave and we need a sense of community to survive. People have died from boredom. Fact. People are dying from loneliness. It affects their immune system, and
that I can hear.
yeah, you see it now, like in the old people's homes right now. I just can't even imagine how lonely that must be for them. Or imagine people that live alone and they don't work and they don't have neighbors around them. Just how lonely it must feel right now, right?
Yeah.
It is sad. And our human need is that sense of connection. We love to be connected with people. And whether that's why a lot of people go on social media, because they feel that they're connected by sharing stories, or someone goes, oh, I feel the same, or oh, that's really cool, thanks for sharing. It makes them feel like they belong in a community. And then on social media is pretty good for things like belonging to groups. So people who aren't generally using the phones, for like you, Sophia, it sounds like you've got a good community with you and your boyfriend, right? But I should imagine, you know, if you were to join associations or groups or memberships and stuff, you would even have a stronger sense of community. The next one is self-esteem. This is how you feel about yourself. This is how well respected you feel, how confident you feel, how confident you are in your abilities to be an awesome person, you know, how nice of a person you think you are, things like that. And then the very top one, this is called self-actualization. If I narrow it down a little bit, self-actualization is about when you feel that you've developed into the person you know you can be, right? When you feel like you've made it, that's it, I've made it in life, right? And the point of all this triangle, it's not a triangle of you know, of growing up and stuff like that. You cannot feel like you've made it in life until you feel that you're connected to people. Because the bottom rungs of the ladder going up the triangle there need to be, you need to feel good in all those areas before you can feel the other ones. You can't feel confident in life if you're not part of a community and people aren't making you feel good about things, right? You can't feel that sense of community if you don't feel safe, which is why a lot of people reclused into their houses in COVID. I know some people that haven't left the house at all. They've stayed inside since last March.
Wow.
No way.
Yep. They have their food delivered to their doorstep. They'll leave it outside for at least 6 hours and then they pull it in. They've not seen another human being.
God.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So imagine their lack of sense of community. Yeah, it's a single parent actually, and she has her kids at homeschooled. Like she says, there's no reason for me to leave the house. She's not left the house since March. Now I know that for me that would kill me. Now, as much as I don't go partying in Costco or anything, but I have to leave the house. I have to feel like I'm still in a community. I live out in the Durham region. I live in Oshawa. And I'm part of lots of volunteer groups. Like I've done some feed the needs things. I'm included in things like that. I'm in part of a group called Durham Region Eats, where we're all supporting local businesses and things like that. Like I need that sense of belonging, because if I don't have it, I don't feel confident as a person, because that's really important to me, and how love and belonging looks to you and how safety looks to you. But the point of me showing you this, first of all, it's kind of cool and interesting. But second of all, I want you to understand how your mind works, in the fact if you're feeling not so great in life, you're feeling a bit stressed or overwhelmed or underwhelmed, you just have to look at this triangle and go, where am I? What's not being met here? If you were to like get the orange coloring felt tip marker, right, and you were to fill this out, where are you in that safety? Would you only color in half of it? Would you color in all of it? Right? Where are you in the love and belonging? If you've got a pen, would you say that you got a really good sense of community where you are? And this is our own responsibility as adults to fill these gaps and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm just not feeling that love and belonging. And it's a bit like I was saying with the work-life balance before. Remember I said that I felt that my social needs weren't being met. So I can't have good self-esteem because I don't feel like I belong to a community. I felt like I was missing it. I love my boyfriend, I love my kids, but it'd be really nice to see another human being apart from them some days, right?
Yeah.
That's where I wish I was still working in the workplace, because I get to see people every day. So I had to recognize that and then go out of my way to fulfill that and find something cool to do, which we did. We did the cooking class, which was really, really neat. And it was fun. It was with strangers, people I'd never met, and with people I knew. So it was twofold. I made some new friends and I got to see some old friends, and I made some really cool Indian food, which by the way, takes ages to make. Holy smokes. Have you tried cooking Indian food from scratch?
No.
It took 2 hours to make bread.
What?
To make like the naan bread, like paratha, 2 hours. Yeah, because it has that many things that go in it. Oh my gosh, there were so many spices, and wow, like I will never ever again will I will respect my Indian chefs all the more now, knowing it doesn't, like here you can like make a dish in like half an hour. No, Indian food, no. It takes ages.
Yeah. Wow.
But I'm inviting you to take a look at where you are in this triangle and go, what am I missing? Am I missing my confidence? Am I missing growth opportunities? Am I missing feeling safe? Am I missing being part of a community? Am I actually not fulfilling my basic needs? Am I not eating properly? Like there's all these areas where when you shine a light on it, you can go, okay, and you can do something about it, right? And all these things add to how we feel up here. And forget physical for a second, which is really important, but it affects how we feel up here. And that's just as important, if you remember what I was talking about, than the physical things, right? If you were to look at this triangle now, do you know where you are? Do you know what's full and what's not? Is it easy for you to point out?
No.
I think so. Yeah.
It is for you, Sophia, not so much for you, Sue. Is it something you just haven't really thought about before?
Everything seems to be, I don't know, everything's kosher.
Yeah. That's the things are good for you right now, Sue. I'm so happy.
Kosher.
That's beautiful. And not everyone's in that position. Some people are feeling very fulfilled in all areas and some people are not, really, really not. And it's also to have that sense of community, it's to help other people fill those areas. So when you can see that someone's not, so you might see a colleague at work who's just not joining in conversations, they're just keeping themselves to themselves, they're not being themselves, and it's up to us to see a fellow human being who's not getting what they need and helping them get what they need. I'm sure with your boyfriend there, Sophia, you know, if he's feeling a bit down in the dumps about COVID and how safe he feels going to the grocery store, you try and put his mind at rest and try and fill in that safety line for him, right? I'm sure to imagine he does the same thing for you too. Yeah. Yeah. So it's about, I'm just asking you to take a look at those areas and think about what you guys can do for yourself. Remember, we're not alone. We are hardwired completely to connect and socialize. We talked about that before. We actually feel more comfortable in life when we are connected to other people. But Sue, wouldn't you agree that by reading, sometimes you get so connected to the characters?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you disappear right into the book, right?
Yeah, I can't put the book down.
Right? What was the last book that you read that was like that?
Oh, I'm reading one now. It's, but I'm not, I'm into it and I'm not. And don't ask me why I'm reading it.
Are you just hoping it's going to get better?
It's about these about God. Jesus, this guy's he's God, and he's got all these people. You know how the Jehovah's Witnesses and that they have people that they go and preach and
Yeah.
well, this is what they're trying to get everybody doing, and now the government and all that don't like it, and now they're all killing them, and so now
Wow, yeah, that's quite the heavy book you're reading, Sue.
all of these followers, and then the guy the one that claims to be God, they want to kill him too, and just because the government doesn't like it. So
That sounds like a reality.
It does a bit right now, doesn't it? It's funny, my friend said the other day that she was playing the game Pandemic. I went, how real is this right now for you? But, you know, reading for a lot of people, Sue, can make people feel connected to other people. It's like when you watch a movie and you forget, you know, if you think about the last time you went to the movie theater, right? And you forget you're even in the theater until the movie's ended because you're like so into the characters and you're like, oh my God, I hope they win, or I hope they find love, or I hope they don't die, or whatever it is. And you're like, you feel like that's your friend. Like when you get totally like, have you ever felt like that in a movie?
I haven't
It's a cool feeling.
It's been years since I've been to a movie.
Has it? Oh, God, I love
Yeah.
going to the theatre. I miss going to the theatre.
Years.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's sometimes for like the big blockbuster movies, it's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, but eventually they're like, you pay big bucks to go to the theater to see it. Well, then in a month, it's on TV.
True.
So why am I paying?
Because there's a big ass screen.
Right, yeah, I don't have a 400-foot
get
screen in my
popcorn.
house.
It costs you to buy that
Oh, I
popcorn.
know.
You can have popcorn at home on the couch, and you can even.
Sue, I get your point. I totally get your point, but there's some things like the big adventures and stuff I want to see in the big screen. I want to hear like the explosions, and I don't get the same surround sound from my 44-inch TV at home.
No, I guess you wouldn't. No.
And I don't have reclining seats and good popcorn in my house either. Like Cineplex popcorn is something else.
I got the popcorn, but not the reclining seats.
No, but there's something about cinema popcorn. It tastes better than any other popcorn you can buy.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, the theater. Yeah.
Right? Even you pay like 15 times as much, but there you go. But that's just an example of how we feel connected to other people, right? Find a way to be connected to other people and rely on people around you for solidarity, because we're all going through this together. We're all facing the same work-life balance crisis. We're all, you know, facing burnout at the same time, feeling overwhelmed and stressed at the same time. And we need to, because one of those needs is love and belonging, we need to recognize that we have to support our community. And if we know, you know, if we have a neighbor who we know isn't going seeing people, dropping cookies off at the door can fill that line up for them, you know, or if someone's not feeling very safe, you go and drop them off some new masks, or even offering, leaving your telephone number outside the door wherever you want to chat. Here I am. And we need our community more than ever in the workplace and outside of the workplace. And you guys all the more, because you're essential workers, you don't have the choice but to leave home. You're all reliant on each other right now to make the workplace a really fun place to go to, and you want to do this for a couple of reasons. When we're really community orientated, we can get challenged by other people. Have you noticed that? Someone will say, so like me, for example, sharing, that I'm cooking something that might have inspired you to go, maybe I should cook something a bit more adventurous than pizza tonight, right? Someone somewhere is inspiring you, and someone somewhere is being inspired by you. And by being a community and sharing stories and things like that, we can actually challenge each other. And this is when we get challenged and we meet these challenges, it raises our self-esteem, because we think, yeah, look at what I can do. Like, I was so proud of myself that I made that dish yesterday. It took us 2.5 hours to make the dishes, and I didn't really know what I was doing half the time, because I'm not some super chef. But I shared it on social media, and I was dead proud. I was taking pictures and stuff, because I challenged myself to do something and create my own Indian food, because I spend a lot of money on Indian takeaways. I really, really do. And so, yeah, I challenged myself, and I only did that because I saw that someone else had done an online cooking class, and I thought, oh yeah. So by them sharing, that challenged me, right? And that made me feel good. And maybe Sue, you sharing, what you've read, and people go, oh, I need to read that book. I'm going to read about that crazy person who's trying to get preachers over the world and whatever it is, right? Yeah. Like just even you sharing today, Sophia, about you're not really using your phone much. That's, that's inspired me to go, could I do that? Maybe I wouldn't be able to do it every day, but maybe I need to have some phone-free days. And they only answer emergency calls or something, We're inspiring people somewhere, and I invite you to like strengthen your community so you can have that sense of giving too. When you share information with each other and someone else goes, you know what, you told me about this and it enabled me to do this and help me do this. It feels good, right? And even if it's not, you don't always have to volunteer your time at a food bank or anything like that. That sense of giving might be something like, hey, I've got this blender I never use. Does anyone want it? Someone goes, oh gosh, yeah. And all of a sudden I'm making these cool smoothies, and, it makes you feel good, because otherwise it's sat in the cupboard, dust. Yeah. My blender has so much dust on it. I don't even know where it is. That's how much dust there is on it. I probably can't even see it. But that sense of giving is really cool when you're in a community too. And I think, I don't know about you, but in my community, I'm seeing more people give, not necessarily things, but time or information. Are you seeing that in your communities right now?
No.
Are you not seeing that, Sue? That's interesting.
No.
How about you, Sophia? Are you seeing it where you're living in Peterborough?
Sorry, say again. What? A sense of giving?
Are you seeing that the community's got a bit stronger in that sense of helping each other?
I mean, I think so. Like when I go on social media, you can see that people are constantly sharing their experiences through COVID,
right.
And political views and values, and like there's always, like on my Instagram, there's always information being circulated.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, I don't go on Instagram and all that, so.
Yeah.
So maybe you wouldn't recognize it as much, but maybe even seen in the paper, like, there's people starting off. There was, I don't know whether you saw, and I think it was in the Kawarthas as well, as where I live, they were doing things like, what do they call them? Wine fairies. Did you see that campaign? Oh no. My gosh, it was the coolest thing ever. So you went in and you put your name and address into this messaging thing, and then you got sent a name and address that was close to you. So you had to wrap up a bottle of wine, and then you had to ninja it onto their doorstep, knock on the door, and run away. So at any time over the next 2 weeks, you could be given this surprise bottle of wine. You don't know who it's come from. And then you were challenged to like write something really nice in the note, like, you matter in the world, or hi friend, or something like that. It was so cool. No, they still do it. If you look for wine fairies, there's whiskey fairies as well. There's Valentine fairies. There was Christmas fairies. Yeah, look it up on Facebook. It was really, really cool. So I did it once or twice. Was someone trying to come in?
just need to get a laptop.
Oh, okay.
It should be over there on your.
Oh, underneath there. Yeah. Here, want me to grab it?
Yeah, my stuff is there.
Sorry, Ella.
Yeah.
That's okay. Kelly, have you heard of the wine fairies?
The wine fairies?
Yeah.
The wine fairies that are gonna bring me bottles of wine and make me
That's what
happy?
we're talking about.
That's what it is.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, see? These girls hadn't heard of it. We're talking about strengthening your community and like cool things that have come up since COVID.
Oh, you want that too? Oh,
Sorry.
That's okay, no worries.
Sorry, I'm gonna leave you again. I apologize.
That's okay. COVID. No, not really. So what my point is that you can get involved in your community and do things like that if you want to. It's kind of cool. And while you can't go and see your community, you can be part of it. And there's probably so many initiatives around where you guys are, because your communities are a bit smaller than ours and probably a bit more tight knit as well, right?
Well, people are
Like
more
that.
pipes where I am too, so.
Where are
But,
you? Where
The
are you?
houses are not top of each other.
Yeah, true. So that's slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when we strengthen our community, there's more people cheering you on. You can be other people's cheerleaders. Like it fills that love and belonging, right? It makes us feel safe knowing there's someone else looking out for us. It's going to help you build up that whole triangle. And while you don't feel things are missing right now, Sue, there's there's other ways you can look at it, showing gratitude for people who are sharing with you, giving support, finding opportunities to celebrate. And you can do this in the workplace too. So I invite you to start having a think about things like that. And that brings us to the end of our session. And we've got 10 minutes left, which means that you can, I've got the hiccup, sorry. You can go ahead.
Are you drinking already?
I am. This really is a big thing of wine, I wish. No, it's Earl Grey tea. It's nothing too exciting. I think I had the hiccups last time we were on, did I not?
No.
It's because I'm teaching all that, because I'm talking and I'm drinking at the same time.
Yeah, that'll do it. Mhm.
And I've got like session after session after session, so it's a bit
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
But yeah, so tell me, what did you find most interesting about today's session?
It was more interesting today. I think.
Yeah? Oh no, thank you for that feedback. Yeah. Why do you think that
It was really more
is?
interesting today. Like it was. Oh, now you put me on a spot here.
I feel. I don't know. I guess that thing that you told us about the triangle. What was that?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, like that.
With the esteem and the
Yeah, just like the different levels.
loving and
How one affects the other. I don't know. I thought it was great though.
And I think Kelly has a copy of that. So if you want to see that again, ask Kelly. She'll show you a copy of that. And sometimes it's a good way of bringing us back to, how do I feel right now? Are all areas in my life looked after? Yes, they are. Great. Let's carry on. Actually, no, they're not. No, I need to focus on this. And when you focus on that, you're going to just have a better day, have a happier day, right? And that's what it's all about. Just enjoying yourself more in life and enjoying your job and enjoying your life outside of it and enjoying spending the money you're getting from being in the workplace, right? That's what life's all about. And helping other people at the same time, because that makes us feel good. It raises our status, it brings our self-esteem, it makes us feel safer in the community. It's a really good way of filling all those areas.
Yeah.
So thank you again, lady. I know it's only the two of you, but I appreciate all your input.
Well, maybe
And
there'll be
Sophia,
more next time.
oh, that's okay. That's okay. So I see you again. What day is it? Thursday. Next Thursday, same
Next
time.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Well, you enjoy your week, guys. Enjoy the last bit of your lunch break.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time, guys.
You have a good day.
You too. Bye now.
Bye-bye.